let's go across now live to Mr. Ehsan Mani, who's the former ICC chief. Thanks very much indeed, Mr. Mani, for joining us. Watching all of this unfold from a distance, what do you make of it? Do you believe that, as a starting point, do you believe that N. Srinivasan should completely resign, or do you think this stepping aside is the way to go?
Look, he should have stepped aside right at the outset, and that would have been fine. But he's left it too long. He's dragged the matter. It just creates a lot of pressure on the BCCI and the other members, and some very credible people from the BCCI have resigned, which is sad. So I think it's too late for him now to try and hang on. He should do the right thing and sort of resign voluntarily and let others sort this mess out.
You think he should resign, not step aside and have an interim arrangement? You think he should just go outright?
I think he's left it. If he had done that right at the beginning, he would have been respected for that, and he should have done it. But he's unfortunately forced the hand of the other members of the BCCI. And I'm very pleased to see that the BCCI members are prepared to take a strong view on this and realize that at some stage the game comes before any one individual.
Now, one of the things, Mr. Mani, that N. Srinivasan had put as a condition, which several in the BCCI found bizarre, is that during the period that he will be stepping aside, not resigning, he will continue his membership of the ICC, to which he is entitled as BCCI president. Is this realistically possible at all, or is it a completely unrealistic demand?
No, that's a totally unrealistic demand, because it's the presidents of the board who are the board members of the ICC. But this is a long game that is being played. The constitution of the ICC has been changed so that from next year they'll have a president and a chairman. And the chairman of the ICC will have a 3-year term. The president will be a nominal 1-year term. And I think there are a couple of people, and I suspect including Mr. Srinivasan, who are eyeing this post of the chairman of the ICC. So I think that's what this is about.
Right, Mr. Mani, one question here about the BCCI and the way it functions. The BCCI, of course, is a very important player in international cricket. We all know about their political and financial muscle. Would you say that at the end of the day, it's the way that the board functions that has led to all of this happening?
Unfortunately, yes. While BCCI is a very powerful member, with power comes responsibility. And sometimes that responsibility has been lacking. There's a line between what is good in terms of commercial terms and in terms of placing yourself where you get votes from other members by doing favors to them. But none of this can supersede the game itself. And unfortunately, that's been happening recently because of pressure from India. And that's where it starts damaging the game a bit. And one of the things, which is in front of us, is that the ICC commissioned a report by Lord Wolf. And I didn't agree with all the recommendations of Lord Wolf, but there was a very, very good basis for ICC to carry out a very serious debate, even if they were going to reject parts or all of it.
Mr. Mani, Mr. Mani, sorry to interrupt. Is the reason, is this because of India's clout that the ICC has been completely silent through this entire crisis? We've not had a single word or statement or comment from them.
Yeah, I'm very bemused by that, because, this is such a, far-reaching impact, because it's not only something that's happening in one member country. There are players from virtually every country in the world, from the test-playing nations, who are involved in this. If they're not players, they're officials, like the umpires from Pakistan. So I just find it, absolutely beyond understanding why the ICC has remained silent about this.
Right, Mr. Mani, one last question before we let you go. What would your advice be at this point in time, or your message be for whoever takes over as the next president of the board, or whatever the next core committee becomes of the board. What would your advice be? Because at the end of the day, like you yourself pointed out, we've come to this position perhaps because of the way that the BCCI has been functioning for years on end. We've already heard someone like Mr. Sharad Pawar say that allowing Mr. Srinivasan to buy an IPL team while he was a post holder in the BCCI itself was a big mistake, and that should not be repeated.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of things that come out of this. I think the BCCI has to look at its governance processes. The ICC has to do the same. The important thing here for BCCI now is to get to make sure that the whole process of the inquiry, the investigation, the actions it takes following that are totally transparent, so that its own credibility is restored as much as possible. The IPL is a great tournament, great for cricket. It brings people into cricket who would not normally follow the game. So to that extent, I'm all for it. But it cannot, nothing can be bigger than the game, as I keep saying.